Right now at noon, Ridgeland Farms has its first hearing in court over animal cruelty allegations, what the judge decided on the case. Plus, Vice President Harris prepares to take the stage with former President Obama for the first time. This as former President Trump heads out west. This is News 3 Now at noon. Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm Josh Brighter. Right now, a Madison family is looking for another place to stay after an apartment fire. Fire crews were sent to the scene on Thurston Lane just before 2:45 yesterday afternoon. Crews arrived to find smoke visible from all sides of the building and signs of a fire on the second floor. They found that fire in the kitchen and helped put it out. Nobody got hurt. The family is being helped by the American Red Cross. The Rock County Medical Examiner's Office is identifying a man who died after falling from a boom truck. It happened at the Rock County 4-H Fairgrounds. 59-year-old Timothy Gillitzer of Milton died Saturday morning from the injuries suffered in that fall. Gillitzer and a 62-year-old Janesville woman fell about 10 feet from an extended boom on a truck during an Employee Appreciation Day event. The woman survived the fall. That incident remains under investigation. This afternoon, the Community School District of Raya was investigating a staff member. It comes after allegations of improper interactions with multiple students. The district has now provided further details. District officials say the accused staff member will indefinitely be out. Local law enforcement is now investigating. A dog breeding firm suspected of animal cruelty is now playing defense in court. The first hearing for Ridgeland Farms took place Wednesday. The group bringing forth the case is asking for the appointment of a special prosecutor. An animal rescuer and 2 former employees of Ridgeland spoke out about what they saw inside the breeder's facilities.
Were the dogs ever taken on walks?
No.
Did they ever go outside?
No.
Were they ever let out of the cages at all?
Only to be moved to the back portion where they'd be shipped out.
So they were only ever let out to move from one cage to a different cage?
Right.
Judge Rhonda Lanford decided the case would move to a post-trial briefing. Those briefs are due on November 8th. Representatives from Ridgeland did not appear. We'll take a look at what showed up at a local elementary school. This bobcat appearing outside Yahara Elementary School in DeForest on Wednesday morning. The school kept students inside out of an abundance of caution. The building did not go into lockdown. Classes went on as normal. There are no reports of anyone getting hurt from the animal, and there's no update on where it is now. Well, we have some much-needed rain on the way. First War meteorologist Kelly Slifka is out on the weather patio with your certified most accurate forecast. Hi, Kelly.
Yeah, good afternoon, Josh. It is a pretty nice noon hour. You know, we've been seeing these temperatures kind of swing quite a bit because our winds have been swinging quite a bit. And finally, we have some rain in our forecast. That won't be coming in until tonight. We're seeing these clouds that are streaming in across parts of Minnesota, Iowa. That's the system that's going to move our way and affect us probably a little bit closer to midnight in the Madison area, a little bit sooner off to the west with some rain. All right, we do have the winds now. As mentioned, they're out of the south as opposed to the north that we had yesterday. So these winds have been all over the place because these fronts have been moving in and out fairly quickly. 57 right now with the sunshine in Madison. South winds up there at 9 miles per hour. Humidity remains low. All right, finally, some widespread beneficial rains. We do have the latest on the drought conditions report, and I'll show you that coming up in the main weather. Otherwise, we're going to get right back into some sunshine tomorrow and pretty quiet and seasonable. Nice weekend headed our way. 57 in Madison, already up to 58 in Middleton. We're calling for sunshine, giving way to a little bit more cloud cover as the afternoon wears on. Low to mid-60s expected today. We'll look at that rain chance rolling in tonight. We'll time that out for you and see how much rain we can expect coming up.
All right, Kelly, thank you. 2, 3 for the People coverage this afternoon. Former President Trump heads west today while Vice President Harris returns to Georgia for a star-studded rally. Natalie Brand has the latest on the presidential race with just 12 days to go until Election Day.
Former President Donald Trump returns to the western battleground states of Arizona and Nevada today. Last night, he fired up his conservative base during back-to-back events in Georgia.
We will fight, 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 and win, win, win.
At his rally, he did not comment on the interview former White House Chief of Staff John Kelly gave the New York Times. Kelly warned Trump is an authoritarian and confirmed previous reports Trump had spoken favorably of Hitler. In a post on Truth Social, the former president slammed Kelly as, quote, a total degenerate, a lowlife, and a bad general whose advice in the White House I no longer sought.
He's just putting out a 911 call to the American people.
At a CNN town hall in Pennsylvania Wednesday night, Vice President Kamala Harris sought to capitalize on Kelly's comments.
Do you think Donald Trump is a fascist?
Yes, I do.
As she tried to make her case to undecided voters, Harris at times struggled to provide policy specifics and was also pressed on whether she supports a border wall she once called stupid.
Agreed to a bill that would earmark $650 million to continue building that wall.
I pledge that I am going to bring forward that bipartisan bill to further strengthen and secure our border.
Thursday, Harris did pick up the endorsement of another former Republican congressman, Michigan's Fred Upton.
I invite every single person across the country, Republican or Democrat, to stand up against the hate and chaos of Donald Trump.
The Harris campaign tells CBS News it believes around 10% of battleground state voters are still persuadable. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
Tonight, Harris campaigns in Georgia with former President Obama. That star-studded event also features Bruce Springsteen, Samuel L. Jackson, Tyler Perry, and Spike Lee. Meanwhile, Republican vice presidential nominee J.D. Vance is stopping in Wisconsin again next week. The Ohio senator will be in Racine at the Memorial Hall Monday afternoon around 5:30. He's expected to talk about Trump's economic plans compared to that of the Biden administration. Senator Vance is also expected to encourage Wisconsinites to vote early for the Trump-Vance ticket. Milwaukee police say a man is in custody after driving the wrong way on I-94 while under the influence and nearly hitting Harris's motorcade. This happened Monday night on the Marquette interchange. Police arrested a 55-year-old man. He faces charges of OWI and reckless endangerment. The man says he had no intention of harming the vice president or anyone in her campaign. Still ahead for us on a Thursday afternoon, the Boeing strike continues as factory workers reject the company's latest contract proposal, plus why Apple and Goldman Sachs have to pay millions of dollars to customers.
You're watching News 3 Now at noon, moving forward.
Insanity. Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
Kamala wouldn't change a thing? Their weakness invited wars, welfare for illegals, while Americans struggle. Now Kamala wants higher taxes on top of higher prices. We can't afford 4 more years of Kamala.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
My husband and I were elated to find out that we would be having another baby. But after many tests, my doctors agreed that we had to terminate the pregnancy. It was the worst day of my life. You should know that Eric Hovde supports laws that stop me and my doctor from making that decision. And that's a ban with no exceptions in cases of rape or incest. It's a ban that could turn doctors into criminals. He opposes abortion, period.
Win Senate is responsible for the content of this ad.
Garage doors are what, number 3 on return on investments right now? A new garage door can raise the value of the whole street, really.
Let us show you the difference a new precision garage door can make.
Precision Door Service, a name you can trust.
We count on gasoline to power our cars, our tractors, our way of life. So why is a city slicker from Miami, Elizabeth Groppe, okay banning gas-powered vehicles? Extremists like Groppe want to eliminate fossil fuels, robbing hard-working families, farmers, and small businesses of their vehicles. Miami Liz's radical ideas hurt our families and our main streets. Don't let Groppe get away with it. Born and raised right here. Todd Novak is our independent voice for common sense, protecting our way of life.
This is Senator Tammy Baldwin. This is her life partner, Maria Brisbane, a Wall Street exec who makes millions advising the super rich how to make money off industries Tammy regulates. Tammy doesn't get home to Wisconsin most weekends. She'd rather be in New York at Maria's $7 million condo. That's why New Yorkers have given Tammy over $1.3 million. Tammy Baldwin's not Wisconsin's senator anymore. She's the 3rd senator from New York.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
We know we cannot have a strong middle class without American manufacturing. Under Donald Trump, America lost nearly 200,000 manufacturing jobs. His record is a disaster for working people. Under my plan, we will invest in the industries that built America, because ours is a fight for the future. I come from the middle class, and I will never forget where I come from.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Striking Boeing factory workers have voted to reject the company's latest contract proposal, continuing their nearly 6-week work stoppage. The offer included a 35% pay increase over 4 years, bigger bonuses, and improved 401k matches, but it did not restore the traditional pension plan that the union has called for, a sticking point for many workers. Apple and Goldman Sachs have been ordered to pay $89 million by the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau over their joint Apple Card failures. The agency is accusing Apple of not sending tens of thousands of customer disputes over transactions to Goldman Sachs. And it says that when Apple did send those disputes, Goldman Sachs failed to investigate those claims according to the federal guidelines. The CFPB also says the companies misled customers about the card's interest-free payment plans. And McDonald's has stopped selling its Quarter Pounders at about 1/5 of its locations due to an E. coli outbreak that has sickened nearly 50 people, killing one so far. The company says the slivers of onions used in the sandwiches may be to blame for the outbreak, and they have been removed at the locations that are still selling Quarter Pounders. The CDC is now investigating. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Carissa Lawson.
Here's your stock report at the noon hour. The Dow is down 186, NASDAQ up 107, and the S&P 500 also up today 5 points. We are watching today's egg prices straight ahead, and Kelly is tracking rain in the first warn forecast. Then later on Live at 4, Will Loper on what to stream this weekend, including a new documentary on Bruce Springsteen.
I'm Joan Balwig, and I'm here to set the record straight. I support birth control, the life and health of mothers, extending postpartum care, and fertility treatments, including IVF. I'm Joan Balwig. I have always fought for Wisconsin moms, and I always will.
When it comes to your critical medical decisions, you should have the final say. But extreme politician Joan Balwig says you're wrong. She supports criminalizing abortion even after rape and incest. Or to save the life of the mother, Balwig would jail doctors for giving life-saving care. And Balwig even wrote the law that could deny women access to birth control. Joan Balwig would put extreme politicians in charge of your body and put all Wisconsin women in danger.
Insanity. Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
Kamala wouldn't change a thing? Their weakness invited wars, welfare for illegals, while Americans struggle. Now Kamala wants higher taxes on top of higher prices. We can't afford 4 more years of Kamala.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
National Democrats have been a disaster. Higher prices, open borders, making our communities less safe. They can't run on their record, so they try to distract you by lying about abortion.
Here's the truth. I oppose a national abortion ban. Early in a pregnancy, women should have the right to decide. We should allow for exceptions. And finally, the people of Wisconsin need to decide this issue, not politicians in Washington. I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
They've had 3.5 years to fix the border. Why hasn't she done it?
4 years, radical Kamala Harris created the border crisis. Thousands of accused murderers, rapists, even terrorists pour in. Each crime they commit makes American victims. Innocent victims of Kamala's open border agenda. They were bludgeoned, raped, strangled, stabbed, shot, and murdered. Kamala created the border crisis. She won't fix it now. Make America Great Again, Inc. is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Sarah Kieski, she supports lifting revenue limits, allowing property tax rates to skyrocket unchecked. Kieski's backers want to ban natural gas to heat our homes, driving utility bills through the roof. That's Kieski's record, expensive and extreme.
How extreme is Todd Novak? He thinks a woman's most private medical decisions should be up to him. Todd Novak has a 100% anti-abortion rating. He supports letting politicians ban abortion with no exceptions for rape, incest, or to save a woman's life. And Todd Novak authored the law to ban abortion here in Wisconsin. Elizabeth Grabe will defend abortion rights. She knows private medical decisions are between women and their doctors.
The Farm Report is sponsored by Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Pam Yankee from the Midwest Farm Report is out of the radio barn this week, so here are your farm numbers. to your certified most accurate forecast. First warm meteorologist Kelly Slifka out on the weather patio, and some much needed rain on the way, Kelly.
Yeah, finally we've got some widespread rain expected tonight, and we really need it. It's not going to do a whole lot as far as our drought conditions are concerned. In fact, this just came out this morning, the drought monitor, and you can see the expansion of the severe drought mainly south of Madison. Then we've got the moderate drought for most of southern Wisconsin, kind of ate away at the abnormally dry conditions. So much of the state, much of the upper Midwest, really in need of some rain. But we finally got some widespread rain moving in. Some folks might not pick up a whole lot, while some may be picking upwards of 1/4 to 1/2 of an inch of rain. It won't be developing until well after dark, a little bit closer to midnight in Madison. Then we'll get right back into sunshine. So this is going to move in and out fairly quickly. We'll see some clouds in the morning, but more sunshine tomorrow afternoon, setting us up for a pretty nice weekend. So you see the cold front that's associated with some colder air, some showers there in the Dakotas. The area of low pressure right now over Nebraska, that's what's going to head our way. And the combination of these two are going to send that band of rain moving our way, it looks like, a little bit later on this evening. So that chance of rain, probably the highest here in Madison, is right toward the midnight hour, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. And then after that, it all moves on to the east, and we'll get into some drier weather and actually some sunshine going into tomorrow. 65 expected today. Yesterday we had the northwest wind. Today we have the southerly wind, so that's why we're going to see some warmer temperatures. We did get down to 31 below freezing this morning. Our average high now is 56. The average low now 37. Sunset's right at 6 o'clock. All right, we are expecting quite a bit of sunshine, at least for the next few hours. A little bit more cloud cover as we get toward the rush hour moving in from the west. That's out ahead of the storm system. Low to mid-60s today. Maybe a few showers, 8, 9 o'clock. But the broad area of rain should be pushing through toward midnight. You can see right here at 12, 12:30, that area of rain right over Madison, the Dells, down toward Janesville, starting to move on to the east after about 2 o'clock. So it's an hour or two of rain moving through, so it's not going to last real long, but it might be coming down moderately enough to give us at least some decent totals for some. By tomorrow morning, the clouds start to depart pretty quickly, and then we're right back in the sunshine as temperatures climb into the upper 50s to around 60 at the noon hour. Maybe a few degrees cooler because we'll have a northwest wind behind the front. As far as rainfall totals, you know, say strip, a band of rain of 1/4 to 1/2 of an inch. Remains to be seen where that's expected to fall. Some locations, though, might pick up less than 1/10 of an inch, just depending on where you're at. All right, the winds tomorrow morning will be shifting around to the northwest and pick up. So that'll bring in some cooler temperatures as we go into Friday night and going into the upcoming weekend. 57 right now in Madison, 61 in Janesville, 58 in the Dells, 55 right now in Juneau, across Dane County, Sun Prairie right now at 55, Wanakee currently 55 as well. So expecting the high up to 65 with sunshine giving way to more cloud cover. That rain holds off until a little bit closer to midnight in Madison, a little sooner to the west. We clear out tomorrow afternoon, 61. May see some frost this weekend, so protect some of those plants. 56 for the high on Saturday, pretty seasonable. Then we're right back up to 60 on Sunday, a nice weekend. Look at the high on Tuesday with a southerly wind all the way up to 78. That's out ahead of front. That'll bring us some rain Wednesday. Right now, Halloween on Thursday does look dry, but a little bit cooler. Highs in the upper 50s.
Yeah, I was starting to forget what seasonable even is because it's been so mild.
I know, yeah. To think about it, we should be generally in the low to mid 50s this time of the year. We'll still be above that right through next week.
All right, Kelly, thank you. Howard has an idea for dinner tonight that he says is quick and easy.
Do you get frustrated thinking about what to make for dinner every day? If so, let me share with you a dish that we just came up with. And since it goes together in less than 15 minutes and uses ingredients that you probably have right at home, it's a no-brainer. We start by sauteing some thick-cut boneless pork chops after dredging them in seasoned flour. Once they're golden on both sides, we take them out, and in the same skillet, we add some chopped garlic and stir that around until it gets toasty. Next, we deglaze the pan with some balsamic vinegar and chicken broth. We want to make sure we get all the bits and pieces from the bottom of the pan stirred into the sauce to give it lots of flavor. Now we add in some diced tomatoes, along with a few capers and brown sugar. Then we add the pork chops back in. After the simmers and the chops are cooked through, dinner is served. What makes these so good is the combo of the balsamic vinegar along with the tomatoes and all those pan drippings. So here's what I suggest. Go online and get the recipe for our Tuscan pork chops. So this way, you won't have to worry about what to make for dinner tonight. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a juicy way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
When we come back at noon, we'll meet our Pets of the Week from the Dane County Humane Society.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
With high inflation, working families like mine are hurting, and Kamala Harris helped create this mess. Now, while Americans struggle, Kamala spent our tax dollars putting illegal immigrants up in hotel rooms, and she supported spending our tax dollars to give illegals sex changes. It's not just liberal, it's insane. Kamala Harris can never, ever be our president.
Preserve America PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Insanity. Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
Kamala wouldn't change a thing? Their weakness invited wars, welfare for illegals, while Americans struggle. Now Kamala wants higher taxes on top of higher prices. We can't afford 4 more years of Kamala.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
You have a clear choice in this election. Senator Baldwin is a 38-year career politician. I'm a businessman and job creator. She supports taxpayer benefits for illegal immigrants. I'll close the border. Tammy wants to put guys and girls sports in their bathrooms. I'll protect our daughters. Senator Baldwin abuses the political system. I'll fight the corruption. I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message. I'd be honored to have your vote.
They've been rocking audiences for decades. It's Foghat. Performing live November 30th at Ho-Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells.
I just want to make
with special guest, the Empty Pockets. Tickets are on sale now through Ticketmaster. Legendary rock band Foghat. Live in concert November 30th at Ho-Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells. Your odds are better here.
They've had 3.5 years to fix the border. Why hasn't she done it?
4 years, radical Kamala Harris created the border crisis. Thousands of accused murderers, rapists, even terrorists pour in. Each crime they commit makes American victims. Innocent victims of Kamala's open border agenda. They were bludgeoned, raped, strangled, stabbed, shot, and murdered. Kamala created the border crisis. She won't fix it now. Make America Great Again, Inc. is responsible for the content of this advertisement.
Welcome back. Time for Potentially Yours. Our Pets of the Week. Lisa Bernard from the Dane County Humane Society is here with not one, but 2 special guests, and they love their treats.
They do, and they do sit for them. Sit. See, good job, Riley. So Riley is this black dog here, and this is Rexy, and they are bonded together, so they're looking for a very special home together because they love each other so much. She's 10, he is 9. And they're just both very, very sweet, very friendly. She's a little camera shy.
Yes, just a little bit.
But it's so funny because like she'll come and give you some snuggles, and he'll come up and be like, well, what about me? And then they both want snuggles, and they're just super, super sweet. They do so well together. They love each other so much.
So it's good to hear. I mean, because like this is a little unusual that, you know, these pair are going to go together. Like they like to be with each other, because a lot of times you'd be like, oh, like just one per family, but this is a bonded pair.
Yeah, and they need each other. He's more outgoing than she is,
yep.
And so just having him around helps her to feel more confident.
It's like a nice little partnership.
Exactly.
I think they're like, where are the treats?
I know, they just want all the treats here. But they're super sweet. They've been so quiet the whole time. They love car rides. They rode so well in the car. I mean,
They've been quiet here. I mean, very well behaved.
I almost forgot I had them. So.
Well, I'm glad you didn't.
I'm glad too, because they're just so sweet and so friendly, and they love to go on adventures, and they do really well with other people. Children too.
Yeah, I was going to wonder about kids, like,
yeah.
So maybe a nice family that would like to take on both of them.
Yeah, and they've lived with cats, we've been told, and they did well with them too.
That's always a good thing too, especially if you have a family with the cats.
And I don't know if they shared a photo with you, but they do like to spoon. I sent that photo.
They are cuddle buddies.
Total cuddle buddies. So
Which
it's
I
so
love
cute.
that.
Yeah.
I picture a nice evening, you're like all cuddled up watching a movie together, and then you got these two cuddled up right next to you, right?
Yes, yes. And he was cuddling with me on the sofa and just putting his head in my lap, and it was just so adorable.
Oh, loving it. Oh, they're so adorable. All right, let's find them a family, somebody that wants to take on both of them, right?
Yes. Yes.
Awesome. Well, Lisa, thank you so much, as always.
Thank you.
Right now, registration is currently open for Camp Paw Print Day. This is at the Dane County Humane Society. The next one is scheduled for Tuesday, November 5th. All-day camps include a shelter tour, interactions with education animals, a service project, craft projects, and either an educational lesson or visit from a guest speaker. Each day camp has a different theme. These are for children ages 7 to 12. Well, we have some good news on last week's pets. You remember Melon and Snuggles? The kittens have been adopted. They were super adorable too. So now it's your time to adopt Rexy, Riley, or check out some other animals at the Dane County Humane Society. We're making it nice and easy for you. All you have to do is go to giveshelter.org. And now here's Kelly with the final check of your forecast.
Yeah, pretty nice afternoon. The winds have shifted to the south. We've got plenty of sunshine right now, but we will start to see a little bit more cloud cover as the afternoon wears on. And finally, some rain tonight. Now, this evening here we're at 8 o'clock. Can't rule out a spotty shower, mainly west of Madison. Moving through, I think, the broad area of rain. More steady rains, more widespread rains will hold off until we get toward 11 o'clock to the west and midnight here in the Madison area, Janesville as well. But all this moves over to Juneau and Watertown here at 2 o'clock, so moving out of the area. And temperatures will be a little bit milder. After getting down to 31 this morning, we're expecting a low of 47. But we'll have to deal with some frost possibly this weekend. But we are getting into some sunshine starting tomorrow. That'll continue right through the weekend. A little cool in the mornings, but seasonably so. Temperatures this weekend in the upper 50s to around 60. Then we get that southerly wind warming us right back in the upper 70s on Tuesday. That's out ahead of a cold front. We'll bring us some showers and thunderstorms on Wednesday. Halloween right now looks dry, a little bit cooler, but not bad considering what we had to deal with the last Halloween. Temperatures in the mid to upper 50s toward the end of next week.
All right, Kelly, thank you. Thanks for joining us. Let's find these pair of homes.